Hi, I'm just sharing this post. I've shared Professor Christopher Exley's work before, the research results of his studies in relation to aluminium adjuvant that's contained in vaccines, and how during the course of his studies of the impacts of aluminium on human biology, he discovered that it looks like aluminium adjuvant is strongly contributing to autism in children and possibly other behavioural problems, because in some children the aluminium damage may cause autism, but it may also cause ADHD and other learning and behavioural difficulties. But today he sent me this copy of this link to his blog in the Hippocratic Post, and this is really serious. This is very, very serious, and people need really to act now. I mean, I believe that his research into aluminium adjuvants is very, very serious when we consider how many children are being vaccinated with this stuff every year, and the damaging effect is amounting to an impact on thousands of children. So, that enough is something to be very alarmed and concerned about. And it is surprising, really, how little publicity Professor Christopher Exley has been given, because he is a highly accredited university professor. He's been researching aluminium for over 35 years now. He is the highest representative, really, in the field of study into the impacts of aluminium on the human body, and he does need to be given the credibility and attention that he really deserves for such dedicated work. And it is a testament to the ignorance of our society and the power of the corporate interests that will conspire to silence and discredit people like Professor Christopher Exley. And equally disturbing is the fact that he received death threats after he'd published his research study on aluminium adjuvants. So we are living in very dangerous times in a lot of ways, because we're talking about active ignorance in the interests of corporate profits. This is we just cannot carry on like this, because not only is that ignorance damaging and even killing humanity, it's damaging and killing the life of our planet. This is we can't afford to be apathetic anymore. We need to lose the cognitive dissonance and get right into reality and face up to what the information is telling us. So this latest blog by Professor Christopher Exley looks at aluminium, or aluminum as Americans call it, hazard in transfusions. So Professor Christopher Exley is alarmed by a recent study which suggests that patients needed transfusions may be exposed to high levels of aluminium, and says regulators need to act now. Some fluid warning systems could be heavily contaminated with aluminium, according to research published in the journal Anesthesia. Researchers have highlighted a significant and dangerous issue associated with some fluid warming devices which automatically warm blood products and IV solution to 40 centigrade to help prevent hypothermia during transfusions. One such product was shown to release dramatically significant amounts of aluminium into the warmed product. The aluminium concentration in balanced electrolyte solutions warmed by this system approached 7,000 microgram L. Oh my gosh, that's per litre, I think. Though I could be wrong. This concentration of aluminium is alarming. Consider that the US FDA recommend that the aluminium content of such solutions should not exceed 25 microgram .L. So 7,000 7,000. And the safety is 25. And even, I mean, Professor Christopher Exley is even questioning that now, you know. The FDA limits. The origin of aluminium is clearly the uncoated aluminium plate used in the heating process. Similar issues with aluminium heating plates have been noted in electronic cigarettes. Oh my gosh. How many individuals have been subjected to these toxic levels of aluminium from devices such as this? An immediate moratorium on the use of devices which use non-coated aluminium heating cartridges must now be implemented until we know more. It is not acceptable that patients may potentially be at risk of immediate and future intoxication by aluminium. They may require chelation therapy to help remove aluminium from their body. Exposure to this concentration of aluminium in warmed blood products and IV solutions is potentially a future time bomb for affected individuals, the numbers of which may be in the thousands. Authorities and regulatory bodies must act now. They really must, and they're not going to, are they, unless we, the people, start demanding action. So I'm going to send this to some NHS bodies in Britain. I'm going to scour the internet and send it to all of them and asking what is going to be done about this. And I'm actually going to send a copy of it to my MP, because I think this is very, very, very serious, and it potentially affects us all, doesn't it, the impact? Because we're not talking just blood transfusions, are we? You know, we're talking about IV as well, IV solutions, intravenous. This is, you know, it is one thing to have a health problem and to receive treatment for that, and it's quite another thing when the treatment itself is exposing us to very serious damage, brain damage, very serious levels of brain damage. This just cannot be. We cannot allow these things. And this, you know, I didn't know about this in electronic cigarettes. All of them need to be called in. Already people have been advised to stop using aluminium cooking pans and kettles and things like this. So why have they put this in electronic cigarettes? We are dealing with serious levels now of abuse. This has got to be outright abuse. It is abuse, actually, to ignore people like Professor Christopher Exley, his studies, and to continue to inject children with a substance that we now strongly suspect is causing brain damage in thousands of children out of the millions injected every year. This is really, really alarming information. How many people need blood transfusions? How many people are being treated with an intravenous solution? Especially during an operation that then is causing serious brain damage. We know it. We know aluminium, once it gets in the brain, it's going to cause brain damage. You're talking Alzheimer's, okay, senile dementia. This really is outrageous, and we need to act. We need to act as a species, as nations, as communities. Because just because you can't see the damage that's being done as it's being introduced, but then years down the line, suddenly you're dealing with a serious health issue directly because, oh, this person had a blood transfusion. 7,000 micrograms, you know, which the aluminium content should not exceed 25 micrograms. But as I say, Professor Christopher Exley's studies question any amount of aluminium going into our bodies, really, because aluminium is a totally alien substance to biological life. It's just not included. It isn't part of the picture. It is a toxin. It's a toxin. So please share this. I'm going to leave you the link to this, to Professor Christopher Exley's blog here. Please share it. Please warn people. Contact your health service. Contact your local health service. Contact everybody. They need to change this now. They need to change to get this sorted now. Okay. So thank you very much for taking time to listen. And as I say, please check this link. Please share it.